CJ Stroud's incredible game against Tampa Bay, the record setting rookie game for a quarterback, 30 for 42, 470 yards, 5 touchdowns, the game winning drive from CJ Stroud. And we're just going to start with some great plays from this performance for him. He had a 3rd and 10 to start the game. The poise was beautiful. The way CJ Stroud hangs in the pocket, his patience for the game of football, being the 2nd overall pick, only 9 games into his NFL career, knowing that he's playing at this level is absolutely impeccable. And it's a testament to what he was at Ohio State and what he's able to be now in the NFL. He had some rollout passes that were very clean, very smooth. He dealt with some pressure on 3rd and 9. He even escaped the sack with the throw on the run as well. Talking about earlier on in this game that, there were quite a few overthrows. And that's one thing that CJ Stroud does have to clean up is he is sitting at a 62% completion for the year. But I think, as the years go on, next year he'll probably get 65 to 67%. And I think by easily year 3, we're talking about CJ Stroud being a 70% completion NFL quarterback. And he almost threw just his 2nd interception of the year in this game as well. We see it go in and out of the hands of the safety. I know it was a secondary player for Tampa. I can't remember exactly which player it was. But, the fact that CJ has that ability to just hang in the pocket, be patient, that's what's going to make him elite. That's what's going to separate him from a lot of the younger quarterbacks that come into this league. A lot of the quarterbacks in the NFL, even as veterans, don't necessarily have the patience that they need. And knowing that CJ is establishing this early on, it gives him the confidence to hang in the pocket. It gives him the confidence to be poised, to be relaxed, to not necessarily budge or freak out when the pocket starts to get muddy. And that's why I thought CJ Stroud was the better quarterback coming in because he's bigger, because he's taller, because he weighs more, because he sees the field better, because of how confident he is. Did I think Bryce was a little more talented because of off script stuff? Yes. But CJ Stroud is showing why he was the number 1 quarterback coming in and why I believed in him so heavily. And, he just continues to get better every single week. And I love it because CJ Stroud was one of my favorite players coming into the draft, and knowing that he's under a rookie head coach with DeMeco Ryans, he did walk into a good offensive line. He does have a Tank Dell. He does have a John Mechie. He does have a Damian Pierce. He does have a Dalton Schultz. So, Houston has done a really damn good job at building around CJ Stroud to make him so successful. Now, he did hold the ball a little too long, I thought, a couple of times in this game. But again, he's still growing as a player. We saw the fumble that he almost lost in the game as well, but he was able to, or they were able to recover it. But the 3rd and 11, 6.5 to go in the 3rd quarter, he breaks the pocket, scrambles, resets upright, and delivers a strike to Dalton Schultz underneath, who then pushes ahead for the 1st down. That's a beautiful play by a rookie quarterback. To break the pocket, reset upright, kind of like we saw Bryce Young do a couple times at Alabama, when he would be in the red zone, he would stop, adjust, and just fire a strike right over the middle. That's what CJ Stroud did on this play. If you want to go check it out, go to @NFL Study on YouTube. They have the every snap, drop back, run, and pass that CJ Stroud was in. Look for the 3rd and 11, 6.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. What a play by CJ Stroud. The touchdown pass to Tank Dell to tie it at 23 after he burnt Carlton Davis was just perfect. The communication, the drop into the bucket for Tank Dell. I mean, CJ Stroud played that absolutely perfectly. And there's nothing that you can take away from him as he makes that play. Like that play was perfect from CJ Stroud. And knowing he's with the Houston Texans, this type of franchise that was going through a rebuild, he's playing like that. And I'm not just, overreacting about one play. This is about CJ Stroud as a quarterback himself. And I think what could keep him out of those top discussions, or maybe getting those rightful votes for MVP in his foreseeable future, is that he doesn't have to look flashy or make these flashy throws to make plays. Like, he is very textbook, on script, uses his entire body to get into the throw. His form is spectacular. I mean, from the feet up to the hips, the way he controls his shoulders, the follow through, the arm angles, the strength in which he throws the football. I mean, CJ Stroud is a specimen at quarterback. Great player, and the Texans hit on him 100%. And to know, kind of like Darby says, Panthers picking the wrong quarterback. Yes, absolutely, because I would not have wanted to face CJ Stroud twice a year. We already had to face CJ Stroud early on Um, we already had to face CJ Stroud early on with the Texans. We're the only team that forced the interception against him. But playing him twice a year would would not be fun at all. I will say that. So shout out to the Panthers for picking Bryce Young, and Bryce Young could still emerge and be an absolute beast. I believe Bryce Young can have a successful career in the NFL, but he's going to have a top 5 offensive line or top 10, top 12 offensive line. Let me scale it back a little bit because he's going to need time. He's going to have some of this off script stuff. And solely because of CJ Stroud's endurance and build is why I think he'll be a more successful quarterback in this league. But again, he doesn't have to look flashy. He doesn't have to make flashy throws in order to make plays. He keeps it simple. He keeps it on script. He knows what he's doing at this point already. And he just had a day, didn't he? I mean, getting the pitch from Devin Singletary on the option run. Absolutely great play there. The deep ball on 2nd and 10 to Tank Dell with 10 seconds in the game, and then the game winner to Tank Dell. It reminds me of Kyler Murray's first start where he forces overtime, and then I think it ends up going into a tie. Can't remember what team it was against. But to know that was in Kyler's first game, and no, this isn't a direct comparison, and it isn't CJ Stroud's first game, but to lead a game-winning drive in a shootout, the way that CJ Stroud played in this football game was just impeccable. And as soon as I saw him have the career day, 470 yards, 5 touchdowns, game winning drive, it was an amazing. If you didn't see it, again, at NFL Study, go look up every CJ Stroud drop back pass and run. Most passing yards ever by a rookie in a single game. And we just got to go ahead and start having the conversation of, is CJ Stroud already the best rookie quarterback we've ever seen? Because he's by far on pace for the best rookie quarterback season we've ever seen. CJ Stroud right now is on pace for 4,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions with 62% completion. And again, he's got room to grow as a player. He was accurate in college football. Again, he'll probably jump to 65% next year, and he'll be close to 70% within another year or two after that. He'll be up there with the Burrows of the league. He'll be up there with the very accurate passers in the NFL that we know dominate this league, and CJ Stroud will be moving up that ladder soon and will be coming for utter domination in the NFL. So who had the more impressive rookie season? CJ Stroud, who's halfway through. Yes, I'm making this comparison, or Justin Herbert's rookie season, because we know that Justin Herbert has arguably the best rookie season ever. Over 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 4,300 plus yards in his rookie year. We know the record wasn't great. We know it didn't result in any playoff traction. But I got to go with CJ Stroud. He came into a rookie defensive-minded head coach. Now, while Justin Herbert did come into Anthony Lynn, we know Anthony Lynn was on his way out. So maybe you can say Justin Herbert had a little bit of the slight. He was a later pick than CJ Stroud. Of course, CJ Stroud goes second overall. But CJ entered a rebuilding franchise. The Chargers were not rebuilding at that time. Yes, they had to draft their quarterback, but they were already set with the roster. They already had a Bosa and an Eckler and a Mike Williams and a Keenan Allen and a Derwin James and a Linval Joseph. Like, they already had all those people. The Texans, outside of Will Anderson, show me their big-time defensive player. And I know Texans fan probably going to jump in at me on the comments, but just like I said earlier in the show, Brandon Staley, defensive-minded coach, one of the most expensive defensive rosters in the NFL, Khalil Mack, Derwin James, Joey Bosa. We know all the names that are there. CJ Stroud doesn't have that behind him. Now, they do have comparable offensive lines, but CJ Stroud walked into less elite weapons. Justin Herbert walked into an Austin Eckler. Justin Herbert walked into a Keenan Allen, a Mike Williams that was emerging. More weapons were at Justin Herbert's disposal. More established weapons that were proven in the NFL were at Justin Herbert's disposal than CJ Stroud, because he's throwing to a rookie Tank Dell and basically a rookie John Mechie. And we know there's Robert Woods. And we know that there's Nico Collins, Noah Brown. He had over three receivers in this game with over 100 yards. So CJ Stroud, and this is, again, a credit to the Texans, because the Texans have done a damn good job, a fine job at building around him early, and it's showing success. Texans have a top 10 offensive line in terms of sacks given up, and CJ Stroud is taking full advantage of that. The offensive lines, again, both of those are comparable with these situations where Justin Herbert landed in Los Angeles, where CJ Stroud landed in Houston. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Is this the best rookie quarterback season we've ever seen? Again, CJ Stroud on pace for 4,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, would by far be the most passing yards by a rookie, would be up there with the most passing touchdowns in a season by a rookie, would without question, outside of a recent memory of Dak Prescott throwing 4 interceptions in his rookie year, be the lowest amount of interceptions that we've seen. He would have a 15-1 touchdown to interception ratio. I think he'll end the season with over 30 touchdowns because we're getting into the back half of the year. I think CJ is going to get real comfortable. He's just going to get more comfortable as the season goes on. He'll probably end around 64% completion on the year, but I think he'll end up he'll throw no more than 6 interceptions this year because he's got just one right now. I know he almost threw the second one. He's on pace to throw only 2. I think he'll have a game or two to where he can possibly, throw an interception or two. And I'm not wishing that on CJ Stroud, but we take a look at the rest of the schedule. He's got the Bengals next. We know about that defense. Cardinals after that at home. Jags at home, Broncos at home, Jets on the road, Titans on the road, Browns at home, Titans at home again, and then Colts on the road. So the only games that really concern me are Bengals, Jaguars, and probably the Jets, and of course the Browns as well. So he's got 4 pretty solid defenses to still go up against. If the Titans defense comes back around, which it very well could, we know they have players to support my claim there. If the Broncos can possibly turn it around, we just see them hold the Chiefs to 9 points just a couple of weeks back in their victory. So he's going to have his work cut out for him. But I really do believe that CJ Stroud will finish with an amazing season. It will go down as the best rookie quarterback season of all time. Let's see what Will Levis does before Rookie of the Year picks. Note that Levis is just now starting. I think that's going to eliminate Will Levis from Rookie of the Year unless Will Levis absolutely just erupts, which I'm not saying that he can't. It's kind of like with Devon Achane with the Dolphins. The Dolphins haven't seen Devon Achane in a month. Devon Achane had 6 touchdowns in 4 games. So he could have been in that Rookie of the Year conversation, but when you miss games, when a guy like CJ plays the whole year, when a guy like Bryce plays the whole year, when a guy like JSN plays the whole year, or most of the year, I think JSN dealt with some injuries. It can possibly knock you out of that Rookie of the Year. It might seem like I'm being biased, but Levis is doing this with the crap O line. Let's check that, Wes. I usually go by sacks given up by team. I know that's not always necessarily a testament to that. We can look at pressure, success rate, win rate. Let's see. Yeah, the Titans have the 5th worst O-line in the NFL in terms of sacks given up. They've given up 29 sacks on the year. God bless. The New York Giants have given up 49 sacks on the year. Washington Commanders 44. Then you have the Jets at 32, Bears at 30, Titans at 29. I love seeing the Falcons and the Broncos up there with some of the worst O-lines in the league. Thankfully, the Saints haven't given up a sack. We've given up 2 sacks in the last 3 games, so I'm grateful about that, but we'll save that for the Saints talk later. Y'all get in the comments and in the chat. Let me know, will CJ Stroud, again, end up having the best rookie quarterback season we've ever seen? And is it better than Justin Herbert's rookie season? I'm saying yeah, and I already laid out all the pointers there for you.